This is an extraordinary business model, and how it works is very interesting, and how it gets legs across the internet is pretty staggering in the numbers. So I'm just going to draw a diagram of what a traditional retail format on the internet looks like with one single URL and a database and etc. So this would be the web store itself, and everybody knows that it runs off a single URL to drive traffic to a location on the internet. So this is the web store itself, and every web store has an application that sits between the web store and the application to drive the business, and then out of that there is a database, and that database is driven by SKUs. SKU is a stock keeping unit for those of you that may not know that. So it's a single item. So right now, currently, we carry 1 million items in our database. And this is the uniqueness of what we do, and the reason why we went network marketing as opposed to traditional retail. And inside that database, or excuse me, the other piece that drives this is the back office, which everybody that's coming over from Shop to Earth will have a back office in their retail store. The retail store carries 1 million items, thousands of brand names, everything you'll find currently that you'll find on Amazon, so we compete directly with Amazon, Overstock, Buy.com, etc. So all of those strategies drive their traffic to one store location, and that's it. So what I was trying to think of for years is how do you create a chain store atmosphere on the internet? And a chain store atmosphere is very simple. So when I was building my company, Home Club, we put up 44 stores in a little over 3 years. Each store would do about $28 to $30 million. Each store would have between 300 and 500 business associates or employees. So what you do is you develop the model, you develop the product mix, you develop the people, you do all the same things you do in network marketing, and then once you find the model that works, you might do it in a couple more markets. And once you figure out that those markets are working for you, then you just cookie cut it. So that's how we were able to build $1 billion business in 3 years at Home Club. And I was trying to figure out how to do it on the internet. So the unique thing is how the internet grows virally, how it grows not only virally, but how it grows through the shopping bots and the bots on the internet, i.e. Yahoo, Google, Bing, all of those that search out the internet, and how this exploits that model. So the interesting thing is, when we build this business, everybody gets a unique identifier as their own URL. So for example, this storefront would be associated with Pat. This storefront would be associated with Bob. This storefront would be associated with Mark. So you can start to get the picture how this grows across the internet. So I like to use the model that this grows out this way. So every identifier, every unique independent store owner has their own unique identifier to their store across the internet. So we have 1 million items today in our database. Books, DVDs, music, pet supplies, fragrances, etc., etc., etc. It goes on and on. And we're going to be adding another 1 million over the next year or so. So what makes us unique, we're able to replicate across the internet with single URLs, which gives us a strong presence as we grow the business. But the key thing is, as we grow the business, and Pat and I have agreed that we're going to put 100,000 representatives, ISOs, independent store owners, into Kaching Kaching / Shop to Earth over the next 12 to 15 months. So let's say we do that. Let's say we hit our goal, we put 100,000 people in this business of ours, which we pay weekly, by the way. So the reps are going to get weekly pay, not monthly pay. So we put 100,000 independent people into the system, and if we have a free store option or a preferred customer model that you're going to learn more about over the next few days and how that works, but that will allow us to virally grow throughout the internet. So what happens is, if we put 100,000 people in here, and each one of those only gives out 10 free stores, that means we would have 1 million storefronts across the internet. That's powerful by itself, but we understand how the mix of the products and their own specific SKU identifiers attached to their own specific URL. Let me show you what I mean by that. So in the database, we have 1 million SKUs. Each SKU has its own SKU number to it, but when the call goes through the web store or through Pat's store, through the application, down to the database, it sends back that SKU number, but it attaches directly to Pat, so as an identifier to him. So on the internet, for example, if your item is picked up throughout the internet as a, let's say in our case we have deal a day, so Pat will post his deal a day on his Facebook account. His Facebook account get read by Google or Yahoo or whatever, and that gets posted on the internet automatically. We've seen this happen within hours of posting. So that unique identifier attracts directly to Pat's store. So if somebody clicked on that when they're looking for a specific product, that would go all the way back through Pat's store and into the database that's specific to Pat only. So if you think about that, so the algorithm that you need to think about is 1 million times 1 million. And in anybody's language, that's a lot of information out there. It's 1 trillion pieces of information out there that's going to fly through the internet on Kaching Kaching. So as we build this product mix out and we go to 2 million, it's 2 million times 1 million, assuming we have 1 million web front stores out there, which I think is very, very doable. That's the uniqueness of the model, how it grows virally. And then what are we doing from a product standpoint? So Pat has the affiliate stores of all the national brands. He has the green store. We're going to exploit that green store business by building our own private label green products. Not just from the green stores that currently have online, we're going to develop our whole line of products. Pat and I have talked about water filters, all kinds of different products, solar panels. There's all kinds of new technology out there on solar panels for green products. There's a host of, actually thousands of items. We have to be careful how we pick. But then also we're in the process at Kaching of developing private label products for ourselves. All the private label products will not only pay a commission on, but it'll pay BV. So it's going to enhance the overall business model. And our positioning in the marketplace is to drive this into a powerhouse of retail e-commerce. So we can attract the best network marketers, the best people that want to have a biz op, to develop their own businesses, to develop themselves to be a successful individual entrepreneur. So those are the kind of things that we continue to think about here on a daily basis.